Yo, what's going on, guys? The Kitty G on EGTV, and we're back again with Vibes from the 6. Today, we're going to be talking about all the games. Obviously, Manchester City doing what they do, routine win versus Bournemouth, getting the convincing win. And you could see the shock in his face from when Kevin De Bruyne scored that goal. Obviously, Battle of the Bridge 2.0. People were screaming it was a robbery. People were saying absolute robbery. Tottenham fans celebrating like they won the league. It was absolute scenes. Then you had Gabriel Jesus stepping up, bagging a brace, and getting 2 assists for Arsenal against Leicester, showing he means business. Cristiano Ronaldo and Manchester United got annihilated by Brentford, and it was an utter embarrassment. Cristiano Ronaldo at times was crying. The defenders were so sad, and it got to a point where Manchester United fans have now made diss tracks of their own team. It's crazy. Liverpool dropped points. And now you can see that Liverpool are struggling at this moment in time with injuries and plenty more to talk about. But let's get this show started. I got the boy Rock with me. I got the boy Dabs with me. I got the boy Alan with me, and I got Mojo with me. What's going on, guys?
Good.
Mojo's not a boy like we are. Mojo was the only one who didn't get the boy.
Hey.
That's
I'm a little distracted.
Let me enjoy the moment.
Let's get the show going. Where did we get, guys? We're gonna unfortunately not be able to begin from Manchester United today, but since we just watched the Liverpool versus Crystal Palace game, maybe that's the best way to begin. Liverpool. First, forget about that. Actually, I'm sorry. This is so rude of me. How are you guys doing? How was your weekend? Like, did you guys enjoy yourselves? Because I'm not gonna lie.
No, I don't want to answer. Now you were rude. You missed. You didn't ask. Now I don't want to answer.
I don't want to talk about it, but I'm here in it, so I have to talk about it. Innit?
I mean, I had a good weekend. Cheers.
Hey, nobody cares, bro. Nobody cares. That's it, man.
Listen. It's all good up north. We celebrate life up north. It was all good, man.
Of course, because you won the league, bro. Game week 2, and you won the league, bro. It is what it is.
We won the league, bro. Liverpool won 4 points. Nah, Liverpool won 4 points, bro.
Hey,
I'm 2 points. 2 points.
Hey,
no, hold on. Whoa.
Hey,
hold on. What? 2 points.
That's the truth.
I just presumed you beat. Sorry, I was going to say Fulham at home. You drew with Fulham away. I just presumed you beat Palace at home after what Arsenal did to them last week. I just presumed. So you're telling me? Hold on. You're telling me Liverpool didn't get 3 points at home?
Rakesh, did you gather what
we
I
know
did?
how this works. Spurs beat you twice last season. We know how this works.
Oh, he doesn't want to talk about it. Hey, don't bring that up.
No, we did. We did.
Oh, exactly.
No, we did.
That's right, guys. It's only 4 points. Just ask a gal what it's like to bottle 4 points. You know.
No, we don't do that, bro. We don't do them things. We're not Arsenal. We're City, bro.
Guys.
Got to take shots. Got to take shots as always.
You lot all missing the point from what Dap said. What I got.
No. Liverpool missing the points.
No. Not just like, come on. Like, let's actually get to the real point. I've just heard Dap say basically Arsenal are in title contention right now.
What?
Yeah,
that's what Igal just told me, to be fair. So.
No,
There we go. It's official, guys. Arsenal are in title contention, guys. You guys
know it's the second game week, and you win 2 games doesn't mean you're in the title contention.
Brother, you're second place right now.
Stop.
Well, apparently, bro, you lose the
You're trying top of the league, like you just said.
Apparently, when you lose the Community Shield, like the league is wrapped up by the team that beat you. So,
no joke. I saw an Arsenal fan tweet that they're going to win 30+ games this season. I'm not joking.
Yeah, there's some people who take too many drugs in life. It's crazy.
Yes, there are.
But let's talk serious though. Let's talk serious though for a second. Do you guys really think Liverpool are that bad, or is it just because of the injuries? Because I looked at the list of injured players. They have Oxlade-Chamberlain out. Was Keita out? Konate was out.
I think he was on the bench.
Konate, Matip. Their backup goalkeeper was out. You have in the midfield you had Oxlade-Chamberlain out. You had Thiago Alcantara out. Who else was out in the midfield?
Doesn't matter. They are still Liverpool. They're still Liverpool.
I can tell you the name of players that they had out: Ibrahim Konate, Kelleher, Diego Jota, Curtis Jones, Chamberlain, Matip, and Thiago Alcantara.
We had a lot of good players out. Doesn't really matter. We should be doing better than we are.
Get your squad up. Get your squad up.
But the thing is, we have got injuries. Would I like us to strengthen? Sure, I would have liked us to strengthen last year as well. But they have a way that they want to run the club, and they will only strengthen if there's a player available who they think is going to improve them. And so I'm if that's the way they want to run the club, that's the way they want to run the club, and it's fair
Spot
enough.
on, Rex. Spot on.
But as a
I've
fan,
been saying this to City fans.
As a fan, Rakesh, like, does it not concern you at all that instead of being proactive in making sure that there are certain things you don't expose yourself to again, that the club is not maybe taking actions towards those directions? Because at the moment, that's what it feels like. It's the lessons from 2 seasons ago are not being learned still, in terms of making sure you cover up the certain areas that if you lose these players, it's just going to expose the team.
Hold on. Mo, they were retaining that time. They're not retaining this time. Just putting it out there.
Look. This brother is taking every shot available to him. I don't know what's going on, man.
No shots. They're 2 games in. I'm just
every shot available to him, bro. He's taking it, even if it's.
The thing is, Rap has the self-control to not fight back. Yeah, I don't know how he does it.
It's not that. It's more like, I understand the way they want to run the club. We are not going to go out there and buy a load of players who are not going to be good enough for Liverpool. They will only buy players who they think can improve a particular position. Now, I've heard loads of shouts saying, look at look at this club, they're buying this midfield. Look at this club, they're buying that midfielder. They would walk into our team. Quite frankly, most of those shouts are utter nonsense. Like I saw I can't remember who it was, but someone was saying Houssam Aouar is a player who would walk into our team, and when Houssam Aouar is not wanted by anybody,
there's a reason. I hate it.
And Houssam Aouar was hot 3 years ago. That's when he was hot. That's when
there's a reason why people in after him. You're spot on with that.
Can I just say shout out to
Winks is still available?
Can I say shout out to Houssam Aouar and shout out to Houssam, because I think it was him that said it.
Oh, was it? I don't know. I'm not even sure. But that's just an example of several players who we've been, people have said, oh, this player is available, and ultimately, if that's how they want to improve the team, that they've done pretty well so far. That's what will happen. I'm not gonna. The thing is, ultimately, what is the point of me throwing the toys out of the pram? If I start getting angry, it's not really going to make any difference. I'm here to enjoy the team, and I think we'll do okay. And there'll be a bit of a period of acclimatization, and then we'll be good.
It could make.
Is it a bit early?
Midfielder.
No, but it's only the right midfielder who's going to win us the league. If we buy a player who's not good enough, is he going to win us the league?
But for me, your midfield is so obviously a weak point that something needs to be done about it before the end of the transfer window.
Last summer, not this summer, last summer, I wanted an attacker, a defender, and a midfielder. I thought that's what we needed, and we only got Konate. Then we got Diaz, obviously, in the winter window. Yeah, and I agree. I feel like we need someone, but the question is, can we get the right person in? I don't know. I presume
How's the grass? How's the grass today, by the way?
Home grass is always good grass.
This guy.
Okay. Let me just talk about Darwin Nunez' headbutt. Guys, what was he thinking?
Listen, nobody.
Madness.
Sorry, random one, but people, make sure you cook your noodles. Nobody likes hard noodles. Nobody.
Well, pasta is usually served al dente, so
it's not hard. It's got a little crunch, but it's still not that hard.
To the bite.
I don't know.
We've seen he's got a temper now. Haven't we?
South Americans, you can't get rid of that South American temperament easily.
I was thinking, but joking. I am going to stop joking now. I promise. Did he just turn into him, or he did need to? He
tried to headbutt. Yeah, he tried to headbutt him twice. The actual headbutt, and then he tried to put his head into him a few seconds earlier. It was a bit mad, to be honest.
Can we just all say about that Palace defender going down like a tree in the forest, timber style? Literally, he stayed so straight the entire way down. It's incredible.
Hey, it's a straight knockout.
Almost as bad as Vardy. Almost as bad as Vardy on Saturday, right?
Yeah, but Vardy tried it, man. It looked
Vardy always tries it. Yeah, Vardy does that more than you think. He's very
100%, bro. He knows what he's doing. He knows exactly what he's doing, man. Like, it's just VAR. I can't lie to you, look, guys. Maybe it's just me, but on Saturday I was like, hey, maybe there might be hope with VAR. And then Sunday, I can't lie to you, look, man. I fully changed my mind.
Spot on Sunday. It was spot on Sunday.
Yeah. Of course it was, man. You're absolutely right, mate. Yeah, man.
Okay, so no one else has anything else to say? Because I'm not gonna lie, there's so many talking points in this game. Missing Mane, Salah not playing essentially as much as he was last season, and the touches where he's getting the touches more of a creator, less of an actual attacking like threat, in my opinion, in the sense like he's not looking like he's going to get in good goal scoring positions. He's looking more like he's going to be hanging on that right, trying to create chances for Darwin Nunez. And when Darwin Nunez came off, he looked a little bit better. Is that a coincidence?
For me, obviously they're struggling and not hit the ground running. Liverpool. It's basically adapting Nunez to the way that they play, and it depends on how long it's going to take to see whether they are in a title race or whether they're in a top 4 race. Because
are they getting time for that? Are they allowed time for that?
No, I'm just saying it depends on how long it takes them to adapt to whether they're going to be in what race. I'm not giving them time. It depends on
we'll get to the 8 touches, by the way, Daps. Don't worry. We can get to that. Listen, assist, not a red card.
You heard what you wanted to hear there, Daps. It's not what I said.
We'll get to the 8 touches, bro. But
I agree with you. I agree that Nunez should be given time, 100%.
I'm not saying given time. I'm saying it depends on how.
I personally think that Nunez. I think Nunez for his age and how long he's been in the league, I think he started his Liverpool career well. I mean, today, joking aside, he got sent off. I don't know. I've told everyone a million times, I don't watch Liverpool play unless they're playing City. I don't watch Liverpool play. I just expect Liverpool win when they play. That's why I don't watch them. I don't want to watch my rivals win. So apart from the red card, I know nothing about Nunez tonight. He could have been good tonight. I don't know. All I know is he got sent off.
He had a few okay touches, got a few okay opportunities to score, hit the post at last touch, last attempt in the first half, and then.
Sorry, that comment threw me off. The comment threw me off.
Yeah, we're looking.
That number 6. That number 6 is where Man United should be, but there's obviously the.
We're looking for applicants. Imagine next week. Yeah, imagine next week. By the way, when Liverpool play Man United, neither of the teams have got a win between them.
relegation 6-pointer.
Unbelievable, man.
Anyways, what about the Mo Salah take? What do you guys think about that? Do you think he's not getting as central because of Darwin Nunez, and it might mean we'll see less goals from him this season?
No, as an inside forward, or like he still bangs in goals and all that. Like I said, it's just that adaptation period for him. I think it's been a bad start from him, but I just think people are just getting on the hype train too early. They'll still be.
No, but I looked at the underlying stats. He's not getting nearly as much touches as he was getting in like goal scoring positions as he was last season from the beginning of the season. And when you look at the first 2 games, Darwin Nunez has had much more chances in the box, much more opportunities from close range, and much more touches than Mo Salah in the box. Mo Salah, majority of his touches have been out on the right and involved in the build-up, not really getting in the box in threatening areas.
Well, the thing is, there's a difference between touches and getting in the box, because you can get into the box without having a touch. So I understand what you're saying, but really those aren't underlying stats. The issue is, first of all, the sample size is minuscule. 2 games is not really an adequate sample size to draw any real comparisons or any real conclusions. Second of all, even last season, there was a lot of interplay between our right midfielder, Trent, and Salah. That there was like the part of the tactic of the team that was implemented last season was the rotation between those two. And as a result, Salah was spending a lot more time out wide. He would then drive into the box or have opportunities, chances and touches and stuff in the box. We'll see whether this is a trend that continues. I haven't seen those heat maps. Maybe after 10 games, let's have a look and see if that's a longer running trend or whether it's just isolated.
But you know what, Igal? It's kind of similar to what maybe I did think this in the summer. It's Liverpool and City potentially going through the same thing now with bringing in an actual number 9. And we saw it the other day in the City game when Foden was through on goal, and Foden for the last couple of years has had to take those chances himself. And kind of Pep lost his shit with him because he was like, you had Haaland square. But he said after the game, he needs to adapt. He needs to know now that it's not for him to shoot in those positions. It's for him to square the ball to Haaland. And it is going to be similar. I mean, I actually thought it was going to be Mahrez for City that struggled with playing with Haaland. But then when you think about it, he's used to playing with Vardy. But when you look at Salah, he's been playing with, back in the last season, he was playing with Mane playing through the middle. And then he was playing with Jota through the middle. I don't really it's not that much of a difference, is it?
It is a
And
massive difference, in my opinion.
But at the same time, if you look at it, hasn't Salah already got 1 or 2 assists?
Let me give you my reasoning.
It's just one game. Hold on, last game.
Darwin Nunez
scored 1 assisted one, right? Last game.
Darwin Nunez doesn't go inwards and drop deep to give Mo Salah and the wingers the room to cut inside and have all the space to attack players. Where their formations and their formula prior to this was always a person who would be fluid enough where they could drift out wide, allowing Mo Salah to come inside and take that space. Where now you have Darwin Nunez, who's predominantly going to be staying in that central area, which is maybe clogging the area and giving more defenders time to defend against both of them because they're in a similar area of the pitch. That's what's making Mo Salah have to drift out wide and try to take people on from a different angle. Which is we'll have to see. It's still early. This could change.
Wait, and he did first game. He did get a goal and assist in the first game, didn't he?
Before we move on, guys.
Yeah.
The guys in the comments are coming up with some suggestions as to why Klopp like they didn't win tonight. So it was a dry pitch the first game. People are saying like it was atmospheric pressure or something today. What do we all think? Why didn't Liverpool win? Was it a little bit of rain today that put it off, or what? What's everyone else's feelings? What's the excuse today? Rack, what's the excuse?
No comment.
They might say no.
Do I have to give an opinion?
Yeah, I think it might have been a little chilly. You know,
it's a trick question, bro. I wouldn't even bother answering it. I'll be honest.
You know, like when sometimes when girls ask you silly questions, the best thing to do is ignore it. So, Alan, no comment.
Is this a mid-off?
Mid-off? We're not down with Liverpool.
Okay. To be fair to Liverpool, though, I do think they just need time. I think sometimes it's very fair to see, like last season, correct me if I'm wrong, or was it the season before when Man City started? Like it wasn't smooth sailing. It didn't start in the way Man City.
Most seasons.
Yeah, and it's sometimes I just think it's when you make changes within a team, I think it's very natural. Like let's be frankly honest, out of the front three of Liverpool, the only one remaining is Salah. Nunez is a new player. Luis Diaz has been barely here a year, and I just think they need time. And I think the adjustment that the team needs to make it needs to happen. I do think that midfield is a bit of a concern. I understand why a lot of people aren't necessarily as vocal about it because they don't want to really throw their toys out of the pram and say like, look, we're going to be selfish here and say that this team is not being done correctly. But let's be frankly honest, Liverpool have been competitive in the sense that they've been in the conversations that they need to be in. But let's be frankly honest, I do think that season where there was so many injuries, anybody could have called that in, bro. Like literally when you won the title, the first thing I said is the reason they will not retain that title is there is no way this team is as fit as they have been for the last 2 seasons for a third season.
And listen, and I've been saying this from probably about February last year. If you look at City and Liverpool, they take it in turns, to have their injury issues. This season is Liverpool's turn, and especially when you look at how many games they played last season.
Can we not downplay the fact?
No, that's not how reality works, right? It's not like Liverpool now going to say, "All right, it's our turn to get injuries."
No.
No.
Well, of course, I'm not saying it's a turn thing. No. I made a prediction. I made a prediction that this season, I think you're going to get some muscular injuries. That's all I'm saying, bro. I'm not saying like there's a shooting star, so now Liverpool are going to get injuries. I'm making a prediction that Liverpool will see injuries this season, and predominantly based on the fact that it's been a shorter summer. 2, you played a lot of games last season, and actually 3, while it was a shorter summer and you played a lot of games last season, your manager, Mr. Jurgen Norbert Klopp, decided to take you and play about 7 or 8 games pre-season. So
yeah, but
and you know what? Darwin,
I understand what you're saying, Daps, but if you look at the games themselves and how we've warmed up for this season, I know City had an abnormally short pre-season. So compared to that, I understand, but that may not have been you may not think that's a wise thing to do. But actually, the first game we didn't play any of our players against Man United. That's the one they won 4-0. Even then, we still had the opportunity.
No, you did, bro. Yes, you did.
Not really. I think
you
Salah
did, bro.
and those guys came on. They came on for about 20 minutes.
Second half, you played. Most of your
Not the
team
whole of the
played in
second
that
half.
game.
Not the whole.
No,
of the
but
second half.
either way, that's the way everyone does pre-season games.
But then our normal pre-season thing is we go to Austria or Switzerland and have like a training camp.
High altitude thing. Yeah.
And that's what we did again this year. That's what we
did do that
almost everything. Yeah, we did do that. Yeah.
Oh,
so yeah. We to be honest,
Rack. No, finish off. My apologies.
No. So that was it. I don't think we had a particularly demanding pre-season. I think the issue is going to come, not just with us, and the issue is going to come with a lot of teams, is the fixture congestion that's going to be running up to the World Cup.
And don't you think it's annoying that don't you find it annoying slightly these first couple of weeks we would like play one game a week as well? It's like already spread
it's a
it
bit
out.
crazy. It's a bit crazy. I guess maybe they did it because they want to ease people in up to the point where they can then be at a maximum. But look, we've got a few injuries already, so it doesn't really help. But I don't know. It wouldn't surprise me if a lot of teams lost a lot of players to muscular type injuries this year.
You know what? Just before we move on to Manchester United and other teams, do you think Liverpool now have to going into that Manchester United game, maybe a little bit apprehensive, dropping points back-to-back games? No.
Not with Man United.
Lads, it's Man United.
Exactly.
Look, the thing is...
But with Lord Farquaad at the back for Man United,
so,
no.
Are you...
Maybe it was a Ten Hag masterclass. Who knows?
What was your question, Mo? Ask the question again.
My question was...
Sorry, not Mo. Igal, sorry.
My question was, they've dropped points in their opening two games. They're looking vulnerable. Could they now go to Manchester United and have another poor game?
No.
I think
we look vulnerable?
Not a chance.
Did we look vulnerable though?
It was literally two. There was two successive one-on-ones. One of them was ruled offside, I think, and then the other one was on. So yes,
so
it was
offside. So that would have counted, right?
It was two freak. It was one chance, one goal. Yes, it was a freak chance. You didn't look vulnerable in that sense, but you did look lethargic in one sense. The end, you couldn't finish your chances. You weren't as clinical as you used to be. And the Liverpool of old, you don't let the game go to 1-0 because you've already taken 2 goals. You've already scored 2 goals in the opening couple of minutes a couple of years ago. So it's not the same team. And I feel like Manchester United team is very poor. I'm not saying Liverpool's going to lose to Man United. I'm just saying, could we see, because of the injury riddled team?
I think you're being reactionary here, bro. I'll be honest.
What?
I think you're being reactionary here. Honestly speaking,
okay.
Liverpool of the old, honestly speaking, like they have been in the past seasons. Like we can all go look at it. They've had 1-0 wins, bro. It's not like every time Liverpool had scored many goals to win games. They can, don't get me wrong. And yes, they're not as clinical of a team because of the changes we've already mentioned. But I don't think that Liverpool's going to be going to Man United looking scared all of a sudden, looking vulnerable. At the end of the day, Liverpool are vulnerable to the same thing they've always been vulnerable to, and that is transitions. And if a team is able to take advantage and score a goal from it, of course they're going to get something out of a game. In this game, the fact that they got a red card, I think definitely significantly reduced their ability to win this game. That's what cost them this game. It's not just missed chances or anything like that. They had one less play on the pitch, and it was unnecessary for him to get the red card.
Do you know what? That's a great comment by Diogo. You know what? This might really help Liverpool.
We will have Firmino playing at Old Trafford. Yeah,
they'll have to now, right? Which is probably a good thing. I think. Yeah. Do you know? If you remember back to when City played Liverpool last season at Anfield, it was early on in the season, and it was that game that we dropped Grealish and played Foden wide left. And Grealish had been starting all season. We dropped Grealish, played Foden wide left, and he had sometimes these type of games. You just got to go with what you know, especially when it's early in the season. And do you know what? I think it's unfortunate that Liverpool are playing Man United for me as a City fan, because when I look at Arsenal right now, not Arsenal, Man United right now, right? So their first game at Old Trafford, they lost. And I said to Cass on Friday, I said, do you know what? You needed that game to be away from home and be coming back to Old Trafford and going, it's cool. We lost away from home, first game of the season at Brighton. Now let's take it to Old Trafford, get the strip for them behind us. I said, but instead, you've got to go down to London on a hot day, 5:30 kickoff, which means all the Brentford lot are going to be out drinking all day. That ground is a small ground. They're going to be on top of you, and every mistake you make, that ground, them fans are going to make you know about it. So the minute they went 1-0 down early doors, it was peak for Manchester United, because it was like 2, 3, 4, and you could see the Brentford fans were just getting behind them more and more and more. If you look at Man United's run of games, it's very, very long for them. I've been through it and looked at it, and I think they got Liverpool at home, right? We all probably would predict Liverpool win. Then they've got Southampton away, which isn't an easy game for Man United right now. Then I think they've got like Leicester away. They've got a hard run of games. Whereas for Liverpool, do you know what? I can say it now. Liverpool are going to go to Old Trafford, and this is going to get Liverpool's confidence back, because they're just going to go and smack up Man United at Old Trafford, and then Liverpool will have their bounce back. I can't see anything but, you know what? I'd love a draw. I would love a draw, but it's not going to happen.
You know
it's
what?
Just Man United's run of games.
The crazy thing is, they were supposed to have a good start with Brighton and Brentford. Liverpool was supposed to be their first hard game.
But then look after Liverpool, Southampton away, Leicester away, Arsenal at home. I'll be honest, Arsenal at home might be where Man United pick up their first point of the season. And I'm not even gassing.
Hey, the way he twisted this.
No. But genuinely, I said it earlier
this.
on. Hold on. Let me explain why. Because I said this earlier, and I promise you, it's not a shot. It's because they need those type of games to maybe get up for. Like, I'd say they could get up for Liverpool, but they can't get up enough for Liverpool to beat Liverpool, in my opinion. The other ones are just tricky games. Now, Arsenal is a game that right now, in Arsenal's form, Arsenal will definitely win. But it's at Old Trafford, and because of that old rivalry, the fans will have that extra buzz about it. Like I said, they could have the extra buzz for Liverpool, but there are no Manchester United fans right now going into the Liverpool game thinking they can beat Liverpool. There will still be Man United fans going into the Arsenal game thinking they can beat Arsenal. And this isn't a shot.
Funny,
I just know Man United fans. This isn't a shot. Not my opinion, but I know how Man United fans view Arsenal. And they view them like, nah, even if we're shit, they're still not better than us. They're not willing to accept that right now Arsenal are better than them. And honestly, people, this isn't my view. This is me knowing how Man United fans view Arsenal. I started speaking on Arsenal earlier on a show with Cass. Cass switched off. He didn't want to hear me praise Arsenal. He just can't take it.
I fully hear you. And let's get into United, guys.
Are we covering United without a Man United fan? Monty's been in the chat.
He's gonna come.
Missing.
Monty's gonna jump on if he can. But let's talk about it. Cristiano Ronaldo was crying. Brentford gave him 1 hug, 2 hug, 3 hug. They gave him 4 hugs. That's what they literally did. On top
in 35 minutes. Let's just add it now, man.
35 minutes, bro. I was doing a match reaction to my Arsenal game. I swear to God, it turned into a match live stream for the United game, because we were just celebrating every Brentford goal. It was crazy. If you've seen Livs's interview on AV, he was celebrating it too. I thought the way they conceded the goals, De Gea is finished as a goalkeeper, in my opinion, at the top level, and Manchester United need to move on from him in the short term and in the long term. They got rid of Dean Henderson.
So just needs to move on from him.
He put in a man of the
short term and the long term.
Henderson was great, wasn't he?
He was amazing for Nottingham Forest versus West Ham. On top of that, the midfield, put Martinez in the midfield. He has more technical ability than all your midfielders. Put him in the midfield. He's not a defender. He can't defend in this league. It's not about that he's too short. He's getting targeted at this point. You might
see that when Malassi is back, though.
You already have a poor defender in Harry Maguire next to him. Champions League Varane can't even start at this point. And
he's Championship Varane from now. Sorry.
And people were trying to put him in the top 10 center backs. And the attack. When are we gonna say to ourselves, these guys are just they're done. Like, honestly, they're not gonna. I don't even know what to say. My main point is, if Manchester United are gonna do anything, they're going to have to regroup at the end of the season and realize which players kept up.
End of the season, you know.
2 games.
At the end of the season.
In 36 games time, they need to regroup.
I don't believe
Pochettino is currently on standby, apparently, according to TalkSport.
Listen, I wouldn't be surprised. Ten Hag got given a tough job, and he hasn't been given
8 Hag.
8 Hag. He hasn't been
He
given
lost
the
2.
support. He hasn't been given the support. I don't think any fan should be turning on Ten Hag. I think you should be looking at the players that you have on your pitch, and you should be saying to yourself, why are your board, your people in charge, not listening to the former managers and when they're telling them you need to make major overhauls in the squad? And they continuously
because when last time they listened to their former managers, they ended up with David Moyes as their manager.
Yeah, but hold on. Right, let me talk on Moyes real quick. Yeah, I'm going to keep saying this, and Man United fans, yeah, they need to stop going at Moyes for me because no. Honestly, if you think about it,
Where are we going with this?
Since David Moyes, every single manager at Man United has been given a blight by Man United's fan base. Yeah, every single manager. Oh no, it's because the border, or because of this, or because of that. Right? Every single manager has had excuses, and they've accepted the excuses that ultimately the board is to blame. Moyes is the only one they're not willing to hear those excuses on. Yeah, but Moyes had the hardest job. Moyes had to follow on from Alex Ferguson winning the league. Yeah, none of the rest of them had to do that. They had to follow on from shit, right? So he's the only one that is not given the same blight. Meanwhile, while United have got worse and worse and worse, Moyes has fucked off, built himself a career, come back and actually started doing stuff again. So when are they actually going to go, do you know what? Moyes deserves the same excuses that every other manager got, because it's not fair. Why blame Moyes and not say, oh no, it's the board's fault? What was the board fine with Moyes? But then after that, they decided after Moyes we're going to turn shit. It's the same board, same excuse.
I mean, I don't think that's 100% the case, because Ollie got a load of shit. I think Louis van Gaal got a load of shit.
Yeah, but they all got excuses that the board is to blame. Whereas with Moyes, there's none of that.
We got a United fan. Literally came from. He's at the bus stop.
Hello, everyone.
He's definitely not at home.
Big up, man.
Your team, man. What's going on with your dead team,
Bro?
Straight in there.
It's appalling. It's appalling. Honestly, like what I've witnessed at Brentford is like, wow. Like it's crazy to think that we went to Brentford after losing to Brighton, thinking maybe we can get a resurgence, and then the complete opposite has happened, where we get absolutely ripped apart. And you know what? Yeah, like again, this is gonna sound really weird, but seeing us get ripped apart, yeah, it's just more like the reality's coming to surface much more. I swear to God, because I didn't like it when we'd paper over the cracks the situation when we'd finish second or third, or when we would have a decent season. Now the reality is really here, like, you get me, and it's looking peak right now, and now we got Liverpool, so it's a long day. It's a long day.
Any hope against Liverpool, seeing their form?
Nope. Don't let that fool you. Don't let that get into your head. I swear to God, Liverpool against United, Liverpool will turn up. I don't know if we will turn up. I'll be honest. Like, I don't see us getting any points against Liverpool. But
Bro, can you see you beating Arsenal? Could you see you getting points against Arsenal?
Again, at the Emirates, the games are Old Trafford, so I have hope. You know,
there we go. I told you.
No.
To be fair, I think you stand a better chance if you don't show up. That's how bad you're playing. But I wanted to ask you a question. At the end of last season, like, didn't Edward go? Ragnick was going to go upstairs. Ten Hag was the manager to come in, and you did get him in. And Man United fans were saying about it was going to be a great season, and then you've just gone backwards.
Listen.
You're meant to rectify the problems to move forward, and it hasn't happened.
I agree with you, and that's where I kind of look at the club. Like, it's both the blame comes from the club and Ragnick at the same time, because Ragnick took this Austria job.
Wow, what a freeze frame as well.
He looks like he's at a Harry Potter film.
Yeah, he does. You know, I've been watching Harry Potter non-stop with my daughter as well. He does.
Anyways, anybody else have anything else to say about United? Because I'm not gonna lie. Is the Martinez thing actually an issue now? The height, we were making jokes about it, but is it actually?
No.
I'm back.
City have just signed a left back that's smaller than him.
He's
He's a centre back.
bro, I'm not hearing that. That's the one thing that I would say is, yeah, there was. I don't know if any of you lot clocked it. You see Brentford's. I think it was their fourth. The Ivan Toney pass that was like a Kevin De Bruyne pass. Yeah.
Oh, the one for yeah.
Right. Firstly, amazing defending from Brentford. The way I can't remember who it was, but the way he just stepped in and put himself between the player and the ball, and then that goal, that was like watching prime Man United in like '99. Yeah. The way literally from an attack, two quick passes, and they've just broke up the whole defense. And that's how bad it is that when you're watching Brentford do to Man United what Man United just used to do to other teams. It's beautiful. I'm not gonna lie, it's beautiful to watch. It really is beautiful to watch.
Alan?
And
Yeah,
to add to
Man
that,
United suck.
listen. Yes, we're in a very sticky situation. We're in a very difficult period, but I feel like it will get better because I said this last season, it will get worse before it gets better. And the worst is happening right now where we're really getting exposed for our business in the transfer market, or the lack of, the fact that we're not back in Ten Hag and there's no system in place for him to thrive. The fact that he's still playing players like I don't even need to get into all of that.
Conte,
But
it gets worse than this.
No, I don't think it gets worse than what we're seeing right now. I don't think so.
No, I'm telling you, it does get worse than this. Because
in what way? In what way?
Because at this moment in time, everything does seem like a mess. But while you're fixing it, you're going to make mistakes, and there's going to be more hiccups down the road. It's not going to be perfect from here on out.
Of course. But at the end of the day, like Ten Hag might make a few mistakes along the journey, but the overall situation won't get worse than what we're seeing right now. Do you get it? That's what I'm trying to allude to.
I find it interesting you haven't mentioned the owners once.
Oh,
so
bro,
other channels are
the
doing
owners,
that all
bro.
the time.
I'm tired of that conversation, bro. Like, bro, I get the owners are a problem, but like they're always there. That's the constant issue. Do you get? And really and truly, I don't need to vent every single week after every bad performance. The owners, because at the end of the day, it's not like they're selling the club tomorrow. Do you get? So
yeah, I'll tell you
think
this.
that's a good
I'll tell
point.
you from experience. When we finished 8th the first time, I said it couldn't get worse than this. Then we ended up losing all our games after we beat Man United, 1-0 for like almost a month.
And you know what's funny with that as well? The way both our forms switched. How you beat us, and then you went on some disgusting form, and then we lost to you lot. I went on this crazy form. Like, it's mad.
Yeah,
Define crazy.
Huh?
Define crazy for.
They finished second that season.
Oh, right,
Yeah,
okay.
we did very well that
Crazy.
season.
Anyways, let's bring Alan and Mojo in. Mojo, you already spoke, right?
No, I haven't said anything about United, man. There's not.
I've said everything I need to say about Man United. They're rubbish. So yeah, go for it, Mo.
Wow, jeez. Okay, damn. And yeah, and for once, Egal, I'm with you. I don't really blame the manager in this situation. I think Man United have been a very poorly run club for a long ass time, and it's like Monty said, man. They've been papering over the cracks for so damn long that now you are seeing it for what it is. I think the players, there are a lot of players that don't want to be there, that don't want to take responsibility, that don't want to take accountability. You then add, a board that just doesn't give a damn, and it's being very reactive in their decision making as well. It's just a recipe for disaster, and the people that pay the price for it are the fans. And I think Man United, for the club that I remember being when I was younger, it's a very like a difficult thing for anybody to watch, because you're like, when you see any of these clubs fall the way that they do, when it's clear like they've got the money, bro, the money is there, the club flipping is making money. But the issue is there are people running this club that have no touch with the fans of Man United Football Club. And I'm like, I would not wish that on any football club, bro. Like, as a match-going fan, I think that's the most disheartening thing you've got to watch. And I swear to God, as much as I want to be like, tribalistic and say, all the stuff of, as a Chelsea fan, it's so lovely to see their downfall and all of this stuff. Bro, I just think at the end of the day, I feel sorry for the fans that have to pay to watch that. I feel sorry for the fans that have to say, I support this club and this is how they repay me every week for God knows how many years now. But the fact of the matter is, I just think Man United fans now more than ever need to come together and hold their club accountable. Like, you cannot just keep buying the shirts. You cannot just turn up to games and say nothing. You've got to be very vocal.
Yeah, be vocal. Here's the thing, right? So it's an interesting one as a City fan, because every now and again I do get this sometimes. You know what? It's a bit mad when I've got mates that are proper like, don't talk to me, I'm pissed off, and just disappearing for the night because they're so pissed off. Yeah. But then I've got to be 100. It's them same friends that never gave me that. They never laid off me. United fans had a banner made to remind us how many years we haven't won anything for, yeah. And I just have to remember that, like that they would take any chance to take shots at my club. Now, on the whole thing of the fans and the fans being heard, I agree with you, right? The fans need to be heard. And you know what? The one thing I'll say about Man United's fans is, I think when Man United fans protest properly, yeah, the board does listen to them. To a certain extent, the board ain't going to go. The fact is, the board are not going to go as long as they're making money. But here's the thing: when people say genuine fans should not go to games, they should be glazers out and not go to games. I'll always remember this tweet I saw about 2 years ago from this girl that supported United for about 10, 15 years, had been on a waiting list, and then a season ticket came up, and she took it, and everyone started going, "Hey, you're supposed to be glazers out," and she's like, "I am glazers out." And they're like, "So why are you putting money in their pocket?" And she's like, "I've supported Manchester United for 15 years of my life. I've been waiting to be able to go and cheer on my team for 15 years. If I reject this, I've just missed out on my opportunity." And I agree with her, because the fact is, yeah, if you support, and the same with Arsenal, the same with, you know, most London-based teams, and definitely Man United. Let's just go with Man United, right? Take Cass, for example. He goes to games. If he doesn't go to games, yeah, that doesn't mean the Glazers won't sell that ticket to someone else. Do you know how many people are waiting? Do you know how many tourists are waiting? Do you know how many people from Ireland, for example, are waiting? That if he doesn't go to that game, he's not helping the matter. He would be better going to the game and being vocal at the game than not going to the game. Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to encourage more than anything. I'm not here to dictate as to why somebody goes to the game and why they what they spend their hard-earned money on. That's your business. Yeah.
You think the protest can be effective?
Say again.
You think the protest can be effective?
100%. We saw what that last protest did to Man United in terms of they did have a way more like active transfer market. But let's be honest, they backed the wrong manager. We all knew that manager was not good enough to lead this squad. They didn't think a long-term strategy. They didn't think about how they want
respect. He deserves more respect, though.
Who does?
Oli.
Not in my eyes, no.
Oli, as much as people might not rate his managerial skills or his tactics, he was a good manager. He got the best out of what he had, and he got this team of delinquents that can't actually perform on a regular basis.
Sorry, but how am I going to feel sorry for a manager here that has been backed better than freaking Louis van Gaal, who has better freaking CV than him, who has been backed better than Jose Mourinho, who has a better CV than him?
You know what it is?
And then there's no way to back these managers, bro. Like literally, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is part of the problem. He was a yes man that came into this club, identified the wrong players with that damn board, and led to Man United being in the demise that they're in right now. And for 3 years, they wasted time that could have been very valuable into rebuilding and reshaping this whole squad, bro. The fact of the matter is he's as much of a big problem as anybody in that board, bro. And if anyone wants to say he's a hero because he finished second, you honestly, like, you have no clue. I swear to God, this guy was as much part of the problem, guys, because these are the same players he signed that people are complaining about right now, guys. Let's be honest about it. It's right there. It's all staring us.
The only thing is, though, we also know that Ollie wasn't picking these players. Ollie wasn't doing the recruitment. Ollie wasn't out here saying, "Oh."
So then neither was Moyes.
Rakesh, that's what my point is, bro. He was a yes man, bro. He's literally a puppet just there. Go do the tactics, get other people to coach, just be there and answer the questions and say we're doing a brilliant job. That's it.
He's part of the problem. Let me rephrase my point. It's not that Oli needs respect as a manager because of what he accomplished. It's more you need to look at Manchester United and say the issues were always deeper than Oli, but the way people came at him as he was the issue, and if you remove him from the situation, everything is fixed. That was always the wrong approach as a fan base. So I'm not with Moyes.
Same with
I'm not a
Moyes.
United fan. I don't know what
That's
their
favorite line.
I'm not a United fan, but obviously United fans that I've been speaking to have been preaching this for a long time, and I agree with some of them. It was never Oli wasn't the main issue. Oli might have been a small part of the problem.
Oli, the only guy who didn't hold that board accountable is now suddenly a hero because he finished second.
I'm not calling him a hero. I'm just saying he was held accountable for things that were way over his pay grade, and people were always holding him accountable for all the issues.
What about the managers before him?
No, but
what about the managers before him that weren't even given the backing that they deserved, bro? And they were more deserving of it.
No, but Mojo, Mourinho was backed, man. Mourinho was backed. The fact of the matter is, Mourinho, he was backed. He bought shit players, and then when those shit players didn't perform, he was like, "Give me more players." Like,
no. Okay, Rakesh, let's do it correctly, bro. Mourinho was backed with the players that they signed. Don't get me wrong; they were part of the target list of some of the players that he wanted. Let's be frankly, however, honest. They weren't like when we know what a Mourinho target is. Were they the players that they signed? No, that's not the case. Let's be honest. These were the players they settled for. These were the players they were settled for because they weren't willing to pay the money.
Okay, so you're saying that these players that were signed under Mourinho weren't Mourinho buyers. They were bought by somebody else at the club.
No, I'm saying he still agreed to it. Like he still takes a degree of accountability to it. But he did call it out and say that you guys are not backing me with the type of players that I need. They didn't back him with that Pogba situation. There's a whole lot of list I can actually name to you. Guys, I'm not here to sit here and say to you this as a Man United fan. But looking at this objectively, right? I swear to God, there is no way I can look at Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and say he's done a tremendous job doing the job that he did. If the backing that he was given with the money that he was given is given to a manager deserving of his CV, deserving of what they need in terms of their philosophy, I think they could have done a better job than him. And Mourinho had a shitter squad, won a Europa League, and I don't know if it was the FA Cup or League Cup, and managed to still get them in that top four, if I remember correctly. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, they weren't. I don't think they were in the top four, were they? But they won the Europa League, so they got made Champions League. Maybe I'm wrong.
I can't remember, but that's what I'm just trying to say. I can't remember where they finished.
Igal, can I throw one talking point out there? Right,
yeah, go ahead.
Just for future. And again, this is Man United fans. All you wanted Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to do was give a certain player a chance, right? One certain player a chance. You all told me he's a baller. You told me he just needed to be given a chance. But then his savior joined the club. And, he was going to be pulled back from the club he was loaned to. And he was going to be part of the manager was going to build the team around him. So far, he's been used twice as a substitute in the 78th minute and 87th minute. When are we going to talk about Donny van der Beek? Because I'm sorry, the manager that knows him is still not using him. What is going on with this guy? Is he genuinely just shit? Is he genuinely just shit in training or something?
Maybe he's just not cut out to play in the Premier League. That is my assumption.
For the fact that he's ultimately, 8 Hags come in and is literally not starting him and is still playing Fred or McTominay or over him, there's got to be something wrong with this guy. I'm sorry. There has to be something wrong with Donny van der Beek. Like in training or ultimately, he just isn't he's not built for the Premier League, but we need to keep a proper watch on this guy. And actually, if he ever gets a chance.
Okay, I'm gonna do a poll. What's the problem at United? Obviously, besides the Glazers.
You need more than 4 options then. If you do what's the problem,
One of them needs to be all of the above.
Okay, that is gonna take all day. Rak, did you have anything to say on United before we move on to another game?
Yeah, the shit.
Okay.
Agreed.
Dabs, take it away. You're at the game, Manchester City versus Bournemouth. Yeah, I was expecting a Haaland hat trick, but instead we got a Kevin De Bruyne show. How do you feel? And what was the shock? What was the shocking moment that made Pep react like this? Was it Kevin De Bruyne's goal?
I don't know. No idea.
It must have been.
I wasn't watching Pep, to be fair. For the first 20 minutes of the first half, it was hard to see the game because before the game, they let off a load of fireworks and flares and whatever to celebrate because it was the first game back. And because there was no wind, I honestly didn't think the players had come on the pitch and the whistle went, and I was like, huh? And everyone was taking the knee. I was like, where the fuck did the players come from? And honestly, you couldn't see for about 20 minutes. I couldn't see the other end. It probably is a De Bruyne goal. I mean, it was one of those games where people were saying 6-7-0. I predicted a 4-0, but I said I wanted a clean sheet. I think it was a professional performance. Ake was really good at the back. For me, one of the standout performances was Ake, to be fair. Every time that he was called into action, he defended really, really, really well. Bit more pace than I thought as well. Who else? De Bruyne, obviously, usual. Gundogan, I always knew it was going to take, because it was just before the water break we scored our first goal. And I said, it's going to need a Gundogan or De Bruyne step up and, put it in from the edge of the box or something. Look, Foden looked good for the first half. But I don't know if anyone else can, maybe not the Chelsea-Tottenham game, but anyone that, I feel like the game, with the water breaks, it breaks it up a little bit. Like any momentum gets stopped by the water break. But I do get it, because it was fucking hot. Like they needed the water breaks, but I don't know. It seemed to. And then second half, with 3-0 up, it's 34, 35 degrees, and you could tell Pep kind of just said, "Look, guys." Foden got brought off at half-time. I think it's the first time Pep's used all five. Well, it is the first time Pep's used 5 subs, I think, and rightly so. As for Haaland, because I know all the slander is going to come on Haaland.
What? For the 7 touches? People comparing him to Lukaku.
That will happen, bro. Of course it will happen. Of course it will happen. Of course it's going to happen. It's fine. Look.
What was the difference though between Haaland and Lukaku versus Palace?
I can't talk about Lukaku versus Palace because I'm not a Chelsea fan. But I can say that from Haaland's point of view, if we're comparing Haaland to last season when we were playing, say, De Bruyne in a false 9 or something, is he had 2 players on him at all times. Every time he made a run, he had 2 players on him. But he was creating space for other players. And I've spent all summer, anyone that's seen me on streams talking about Raheem Sterling, I've said Raheem Sterling is a great player, and we'll talk on him later. I think Raheem Sterling was really good for Chelsea as well, to be fair, the other day. He was showing, I'll speak on it later, but he got more goals when Aguero was at City, because Aguero, defenders were going with Aguero, and it was leaving space for Sterling. And we're already seeing that. City scored 4. Haaland defenders are so bothered about, and we saw it in the West Ham game, that the defenders were so bothered about Haaland that other players are now getting that slight bit more space. Mm-hmm. The other thing is his assist. His assist was a really good assist. Held the ball up well, put the ball through to Gundogan. But I'm under no false illusions that there are going to be games like this where Haaland has quiet games. But we haven't bought, I've said this before, we haven't bought Haaland thinking we're going to go from being, like last season, we were the highest scoring team in the top 5 leagues in Europe, right? We haven't bought Haaland to score more goals. We've bought Haaland for clutch moments where we can't get goals, for him to step up and get those goals. So at the moment, I'm not concerned about Haaland. Other teams might be concerned about Haaland, but we're good over here. Look, he got 2 goals against West Ham, and he's showing that's what he's going to do. He's going to hold the line up top. So
there you go. Well, what about you, Alan? You got anything to say on Haaland?
No, just Man City look pretty good at the moment. I think pretty much everyone said that Man City were going to win the league. Looks like it's going that way already. It's only 2 games in, but when Haaland doesn't bag 2, the rest of the team perform, and vice versa. So they can hurt you from anywhere on the pitch. So they're going to be very hard to stop.
There you go.
Other players need to, and it is true. What it's funny what Pep said. So all summer, everyone's been saying Haaland's going to need to adapt to City. And kind of what Pep said about Foden is, no, some of our players need to adapt to playing with a striker again. And I've seen that in maybe not so much the West Ham game, but in the Community Shield and Foden in particular, when Foden had that chance and could have squared it. If we look at, right, I don't want to do this because it's like I'm making a comparison, but you know when Jesus scored the hat-trick, and then he had a chance to get a 4th and he slid the ball to the left for Eddie.
Yeah.
Foden should have done that on Saturday, but it's only his second game playing with Haaland, and it is right. He's used to being that guy. He was playing false nine a lot last season, so he's used to having to take the shots on himself.
But to be fair, that's preseason, so unselfish.
No, but still, it's one of those times where, especially if you've got Haaland there. Look, Pep doesn't like losing the ball. He also doesn't like don't shoot from. If you don't think you're going to score, don't shoot, right? Yeah. And it's kind of that with Foden should have passed it, but at the same time, look, he's been playing 2 seasons as false nine, so he needs to adapt his brain in the way it works. We're all good over here, man. Next game's a hard one, Newcastle away. That's going to be an interesting game, but we move and. Really and truly, we got to keep the momentum up. Nothing but 3 points, and we keep it going.
I'm just gonna. If anyone else doesn't have anything else to add on the Bournemouth game, I was just gonna say, Bernardo Silva, is he going to be sold?
So, when he came on, I don't know if any of you saw the reception he got the minute he stood up was insane, and it was like. This is goodbye. To be honest with you, it did have that feel to it. The South Stand. I was sat opposite because I was with my daughter this time, but did not stop for about 20 minutes singing Bernardo Silva's name. Bit like the last game Joe Hart had. And at the end of the game, he kind of ran the whole length to someone near me who had a sign saying, Bernardo, can I have your shirt? And it did have that feel. Then the next morning, he was seen at Manchester Airport, which started rumours off, oh, God, he's flying out to... But I've just had it confirmed by a guy I know in Portugal that Bernardo Silva is currently in Portugal, not Barcelona. So he's gone for 2 days in Portugal. Kevin De Bruyne has come out and said that for him, he hasn't heard of any changes, and he knows that Bernardo Silva knows the players and the fans love him there. And for him, he sees him being a City player for the rest of this season. And David Ornstein has come out and said exactly the same as Manchester Evening News said on Friday, which is City's stance has not changed. We will not entertain bids any less than 80 million English pounds, right? At which point we then need to find a replacement. And only when we find a replacement would we let that deal go through. And right now, Barca is still coming out with these reports that they've agreed 50 million. They haven't tabled a bid yet. So ultimately, when Bernardo Silva says, I don't know what's going on, when Pep says, I don't know what's going on, when City say, we don't know what's going on, it's because Barca is saying this is going on, but they haven't submitted a bid. So it's ultimately, well, right now, nothing is going on.
So they're lying. I was just going to say...
How would they? They ain't even sold De Jong yet. So how are they going to submit a bid for Bernardo Silva when they ain't sold De Jong yet?
It's true. Just before we move on to the Chelsea Spurs game, Mojo, Alan, Rack, did you have anything else to add on City? No?
Kevin De Bruyne, man. That's all I'm going to say. There's nothing else to say, man. Okay. What a player.
We have to keep him fit. We have to.
Just to leave the Chelsea Spurs game for last, quickly on Arsenal. I seen someone on AFTV do a video today on Jesus could potentially outscore Haaland. Do you guys think we're getting ahead of ourselves after one game where he gets 2 goals and an assist to think he could outscore
Arsenal fans getting ahead of themselves?
No,
surely
never.
No, man. Come on, man. That doesn't exist. Come on, man.
Do you know what? I'll be 100.
What are we smoking, mate? Title charge.
Hold
Bro,
on.
I seen someone say
you're not getting ahead of yourself. You're not getting ahead of yourself.
I seen someone say Arteta and Pep are in a title race. I was like, that's like getting ahead of yourself.
Who's in the background there? Mo, who's in the background there doing a shake and back?
What the hell?
He's making a milkshake or something. I don't know.
You could tell, man.
No. Do you know what? Do you know what?
Actually, he could say hi from the reflection, you know.
Yeah, he could do that. Do you know what? I'm not going to say
funny, man.
I'm not going to say you're not getting ahead of yourself, because anyone making comments like that might be getting ahead of themselves. But is it a valid question? Yeah, he could. Why couldn't he? It's not his first season in the Premier League. It's Haaland's first season in the Premier League. And Igal, listen, I said to you when you asked me if he could be clinical, I said to you, if you keep playing him, all I can go by is when he first joined City and played consistently, he scored 9 and 11. You have to keep him happy. As long as he keeps scoring and you keep winning, it's fine. It's if he gets an injury or if he has a drop in form, Don't push him out wide. Don't drop him. Keep playing him and let it come back because he's showing how clinical he can be. That first finish the other day. My God.
He gives me Alexis Sanchez vibes. In the way that not in the way that he plays, but more just like the way he carries himself, in the tenacity, the work rate, the effort. I don't know if it's a South American thing, but he gives me those vibes. What do you guys think?
He's been brilliant for you lot so far, man, and it's money well spent. And I just want to remind the Arsenal fans that they were interested in what was his name, Calvert-Lewin from Everton Football Club. And I just want to remind you how desperate you got at one point, and you could have had Gabriel Jesus. And thankfully that you do have Gabriel Jesus right now, because let's be frankly honest, at one point you lot got so desperate that you were looking at those types of names, and I was telling Arsenal fans that is not where you should be looking. So, hey, blessings to you lot, man.
I wanted Ivan Toney, and I'll still take him. He's a baller.
Ivan Toney's a baller, bro. That one I
He's a good player.
Yeah.
Alan.
Calvert-Lewin for me, I've never agreed with.
Alan, it's your time to praise Arsenal for once.
Praise Arsenal? Never. No, I'll be honest. You're playing well. Gabriel Jesus is doing well. He's 2 goals in one game. If you look at his 2 goals in 2 games because he didn't score against Palace, he's looking better than he did for Man City, but it's because he wasn't paid as a striker. So it looks like he's going to actually perform. It's very early in the season. Don't get ahead of yourselves because, I'm not getting ahead of myself, Spurs, because we can quite easily throw in a poor performance like we did, which we'll get on to. But yeah, you're looking good. It's early in the season. We'll see how it goes. Saliba, great defender, also a great finisher, great goal of the weekend. So yeah. You looks like you can hurt teams from all over the pitch. So yeah, it's looking good. It's looking good for you.
Igal, one thing I'd say on Ivan Toney that you've got by getting Jesus over Ivan Toney is the mentality.
Yeah.
I don't think Ivan Toney would have come in and brought maybe. I honestly believe Zinchenko and I'm going to say it now. I was going to speak on it earlier, but I said this earlier on. Zinchenko, Jesus, and Raheem Sterling, as a City fan watching them, right, it kind of tells me how good Pep has these players drilled. That now I'm seeing them at other clubs. It's like, yeah, you know what? It's no coincidence that those 3 players, they've left City and they're already looking like the stars at the clubs they've gone to, like the some of the best players in the teams. And it's just little things like the passes, the movement, and also the mentality. And it really is. And someone said, Zinchenko is a prime example. When he joined City, there is no way anyone would think, yeah, Zinchenko is going to walk into Arsenal's team in 2-3 years and be one of their outstanding players. And already Zinchenko, bro, are you seeing what I used to see in Zinchenko already?
Bro, Zinchenko, technical ability is there. His work rate, effort, and the most important thing out of everything, he is obsessed with keeping a clean sheet. He's obsessed with trying to do everything perfect. So when he's so tough on himself, but it's also like it's infectious. And you're right, the leadership qualities those 2 players have brought, you can definitely see it. Yeah. And guess what? Gabriel Jesus is already our second vice captain. It's crazy.
Oh, really?
Wow, is he?
Yeah,
was that something he was promised?
He's 3rd in the pecking order for
wow,
captaincy.
That's interesting, isn't it?
So you have Odegaard, you have Xhaka, and then you have Gabriel Jesus 3rd.
Wow, that might be Mo. You might be right. You might have been promised something like that. To be fair,
that's what I'm thinking. Like that would make sense if that was the case.
I wouldn't be surprised if Zinchenko pops up in that list as well. You know,
Zinchenko at this moment in time, we still don't know if Tierney's going to have to see if he fights back and if he moves into midfield, because we're going to have to figure out what's going to happen. But right now, it looks like Zinchenko's a better player than Tierney.
You have more games. That's all you have to remember this season. Yeah. So because of that, there'll be definitely plenty of game time for both players.
Let's move on to the Battle of the Bridge 2.0 before anybody goes anywhere. But Arsenal and Leicester. Were you guys surprised? I said 5-0. At one point, it looked like it was going to be there, but it ended up winning 4-2. But yeah, I'll take that anyways. I don't mind. Anybody else have anything to say about it? No. Nothing?
And Leicester continue to disappoint me, man. There's not a lot I can say, man. I've put them as a team that I expect to underachieve this season based on the conversations that I expect them to be in, and I feel like I've picked the right team, man. And I think the quality of plays is there. The the manager, in my opinion, should be doing a lot better. And as a whole, that whole team should be just doing better. And then I was very disappointed in how well Arsenal were able to nullify them, especially in the first half in particular. And Leicester just looked like an average side, and we know they don't have average players, guys. So I was very shocked by their performance. I can't lie. And if that carries on, I don't see how Brendan Rodgers keeps his job.
Very quickly, it's not game related. Just on a comment in the comment section, Eustace saying I was being salty. I praised Arsenal and I had a bit of a laugh about a known goal. What on earth are you saying is salty about that? It's a joke. Why are some fans so twitchy and so it's ridiculous. It's a joke. Precious.
You have to have sense of
I
humor.
praised Arsenal. I had a joke.
Let him be sensitive. But let's get into the Battle of the Bridge 2.0. I heard it was an absolute robbery. So what I'm going to put in the comment section is, were Chelsea robbed? I heard it was one of the worst refereeing performances. I heard it was fiery. It was probably one of the most entertaining managerial episodes we've seen in a while since I don't even know how long. Would you say Arsene Wenger and Jose days? That was the last time we've seen something like that. And then on top of that, the game was a back and forth game.
Mourinho Conte when Mourinho came to the bridge with United and lost 4-0. That was
there you go.
Quite funny.
So let's get into it. Chelsea, Tottenham. I'm gonna start with Alan. Alan, take it away. You guys
before I get into that, Samuel's posted another comment, and last time he got banned because he made such a silly comment. Arteta's going to expose Conte. Relax, Samuel. All right, it's not going to get exposed. Don't want to get banned from the channel again for such a silly comment. Relax. The game. Let's be honest. So first 5-10 minutes, Spurs started on the front foot. We looked all right, and then we played awful for the rest of the game. Absolutely shocking. Worst performance from Spurs. Obviously towards the end of last season, and this season's only 2 games in. I'm annoyed at Conte for going there and sitting back. I think we could have caused Chelsea all sorts of problems. They played really well, Chelsea, but us sitting back as much as we did enabled them to play a bit more freely. Yeah, I'm annoyed at Conte for bad tactics. But at the end of the day, as bad as we played, we didn't lose. Chelsea threw away 2 points there because you should have beaten us comfortably. It was such a bad performance. The first goal that we scored that kicked it all off with the thing with Tuchel, Bentancur actually got the ball. I originally said when watching it was a foul. Looking back at it, he got the ball, so that isn't a foul. First goal stands. Second, I can't excuse Romero for what he done, and I've always said that he's a brilliant player, but he does some stupid stuff. And no, maybe. The thing is, Romero does pull hair at people he likes. He does it with Son and all that. Maybe he likes Cucurella. He just needs to obviously reach out and embrace him a bit more. But maybe Romero wanted new hair. I don't know. But yeah, he should have seen red for that. It wasn't even looked upon by VAR. Didn't want to know about it, and apparently, from what I saw before we came onto this thing, he's not going to look. No retrospective action is going to be taken on him. So literally, that's all done and dusted, which is a shock. And then, you conceded in the last minute, and we played poorly, took a point. People say, obviously, drop points for Spurs this season. So far, if you look at these fixtures compared to last season, we lost to Southampton at home, we beat them, and we lost to Chelsea away, and we got a point. So technically, if you look at it that way, we're 4 points better off so far this season than we were last season. So you got to look at the positives, but shocking performance from Spurs, really.
That's not how it works, man.
But it's how I'm putting a spin on it.
Well, I mean, it's kind of how it works. You can. It also doesn't work if you look first game, second game, because you're playing completely different teams. It's fairer to look at like-for-like performance against the same teams, I think.
Okay.
How did you do against Fulham last year, Max? You didn't play him. How did you do against?
Technically, that's 1 point up then.
How did you do against Palace last year?
Yeah,
how did you do against Palace last year?
They won.
That's a good comeback. I'll give you that one, man.
At home.
Oh, before Mo goes, very quickly, Tuchel said the reason why he done that with Conte at the end. Conte would slap him about, but the reason why he done that with Conte at the end is that Conte didn't look him in the eyes. But people
Neither
have
of them
quite
did.
that's what Tuchel done it. But Tuchel last season with who was the Burnley manager that got sacked? I can't recall his name. He's so bad. Sean Dyche. Sean Dyche shook his hand, and Tuchel just shook his hand and didn't even acknowledge him. So
this is, you know what? This is why football fans.
Yeah.
This is why football fans are the most incredible people in the world.
Yeah,
because Spurs fans have gone back last season and looked at every single game.
Wonderful, bro. It's wonderful.
It's what makes
it wonderful, bro.
So Tuchel, practice what you preach.
Someone actually did that. Someone watched every single handshake to see.
How else would they have done it? How
else are they going to find this out? Because Sky Sports didn't make it front and center for them to know.
Let's just be 100. Let's just be 100 with that handshake. The minute I saw it, both of them are two red-blooded males that neither wanted to back down, but they know they've got to shake hands, so they shook hands. But both of them wanted to be the aggressor, and so neither of them wanted. Both of them probably gripped harder than usual. Then neither of them wanted to be the first to let go, and that's all it was. It's nothing more than that.
Tuchel held him. It was a tug of war.
So they both held each other. Then.
Also, there's an amazing clip. You should go watch it at the end. From a fan in the stadium, a Chelsea fan. Conte gets the red card, and Richarlison goes to the referee, points over to Tuchel, walks over to him with Tuchel. So a red card. What a grass! I love him. Shit house at his finest.
Hey, by the way, did Richarlison slyly try and claim the goal initially?
He ran off like a maniac, and then
he ran off like he scored it. I swear.
He wants to be liked, bro. That's what it is.
He does.
The way he ran off though was like he thought, because he was close to it, and I was thinking, are you trying to make out you got a second touch on that, bro? And then when he saw Kane celebrate, quickly thought, oh no, I better actually just retract this quickly.
Yeah,
he was moving mad. But Mojo, the floor is yours. Anthony Taylor, petitions, what's going on?
Bro, as a Chelsea fan, I'm tired of talking about referees, man. Honestly, for this being the best league in the world and for having some of the best teams in the world, some of the best players in the world. Oh man, long day, man. You lot can do whatever you want, bro. I just personally look. I do think we should have wrapped up the game a lot sooner, and I feel like we gave Spurs an opportunity to come into the game, but I do think those two decisions should have gone in our favor. There's no doubt about it in my mind.
Which two?
Both the Kai Havertz one and the other one, both of them should have gone in our favor. And it's fine. It's fine. We're gonna have Alan, bro. I let you speak, bro. Please, come on.
Yeah, but you're waffling. I'm sorry, that first one was not a foul.
Look at this. So I let you speak when I disagreed with your opinion. You can't let me speak when I clearly have a different opinion.
Waffling.
Cool. I'm glad, and I don't mind if you disagree, bro. That's fine by me. One thing I will say is this: I think looking at that game and based on how people wrote us off, based on the fact that people were telling us that, Spurs are favorites, Spurs are going to win this, Spurs are going to do this. I hope people watch that game and recognize why they shouldn't just speak the way that they did, because it was absolutely dumb of people to do it. And I'm glad we showed it in performance and how we actually applied that stuff in that game, because you compare that to the first game of the season, it was night and day for us in terms of performance level. We were so much better in every aspect of that game, and I felt so bad and angry for the players that a referee is out here costing us games, rather than, you know what, you lot fucked up and you lot cost yourself the game. And as much as anybody wants to be like, yo, yeah, let's not talk about refs, it happens to every team, bro, I'm tired of it. I don't know if you lot are not, but I'm tired of referees having the fucking headlines every single game about they are doing this wrong, it's nothing wrong. Like, every time they do something wrong, guys, why are we not doing anything to actually reprimand them and make sure that they do the right things on that pitch? VAR is there to support wrong decisions on the field, and we're just going to freaking ignore the fact that these people are still going to misuse technology that is there to help us make the right decisions. It's honestly, it's a joke for the Premier League, and the Premier League should be freaking embarrassed that this type of level of refereeing is allowed in this game that we love. They're ruining games for no reason, and I'm not talking just on behalf of Chelsea fans. I'm talking on behalf of Premier League fans that have to deal with this week in, week out, with referees making silly fucking decisions. Very silly decisions, and it's costing teams. Let's be frankly honest, not that long ago we spoke about Villa surviving in the Premier League because of a VAR decision. Like, there's so many things we can pull out right now for you lot, and it's a shame, honestly speaking. What I want to do more than anything is speak about the game that was played, and I thought both teams came to this game. There was a lot of intensity. There was a lot, like literally, the rivalry could be felt from minute one and throughout that game. It was honestly one of those games where I'm like, I am so happy that I'm here right now. But again, you are leaving the game thinking, fuck this referee. I'm tired of it. And I don't want to talk about referees. Anyways, in regards to just our performances, I felt like the additions we've made, on top of just having available players in obviously N'Golo Conte, who unfortunately didn't get to finish the game, having Reece James fully fit and playing, having our team actually just kind of start to look like a team that actually understands what to do for each other and how to actually dominate a game. It's not that Chelsea and made Spurs look not only average. It's the fact that Spurs were not allowed to play their game, guys. We didn't allow them. We pressed them that much. We man-marked their best players. They were not allowed to have any room to try and do the things that they do best. But unfortunately, there's two flipping decisions that are key and affected by a referee that led to goals that I unfortunately have to be here and talk about the fact that Spurs got a point because of a referee rather than Spurs got a point because they never gave up and they were there until the last minute to get the point that they deserved. Instead, I'm out here telling you, lot, I hate the fact that referees cost us a game here.
Okay, so very quickly, I've agreed with you on the Cucurella one with the pulling the hair, should have been red carded. Let's go back to the Bentancur tackle on Havertz. At what point is that a foul? Because when I initially watched it, the first time round, I called free kick straight away. I was like, nah, that's a free kick.
Are you saying that's never a foul?
No. Exactly, never a foul. There you go. Daps, you're welcome. That was never a foul. Anyway, so when you look back at it, he slides in from the side, he toes the ball away. The referee immediately makes a motion that he's towed the ball away and wave play on because that's what's happened. The players' momentum's carried him over at the end. What part of that is a foul?
But also, to be fair, after that incident, it was another 40 odd seconds. Like I was watching Dermot Gallagher talk about it earlier on today, and Dermot Gallagher said, "Look, because the referee it can't be pulled back by VAR because the play has progressed so far from that point that if play continued for like 2 minutes and then they scored, are you going to pull the game back 2 minutes? No, there has to be a cut-off point. 44 seconds or whatever it was deemed more than adequate. So I kind of agree with you on that one.
I understand what you lot are trying to say, and I'm not here talking about VAR in that particular case. I'm talking about the fact that in order to get the ball, he had to literally take out Kai Havertz. And if we want to ignore that and say it's not, he didn't. He simply didn't, bro.
He did get the ball first. He turned the ball away and Havertz went over him after.
I'm sorry, bro. I've seen the replay as
well. Regardless of that, whatever the referee made a decision in that instance, the referee made a decision, and VAR is not there to overturn fouls.
And despite that, I cannot mention it as a thing where I think the referee failed again.
Of course.
Can I mention one thing?
Let's be honest, bro. Up till a certain point in that game, the fact that no Spurs player had any yellow card and Chelsea players were on 3 or 2 yellow cards at that point, fucking diabolical, bro. Again, like it's something that I'm not going to be sat here trying to convince you guys why these referees didn't do a good job. I know why they didn't do a good job. Whether you agree with me or not, it's a completely different matter in its own.
Okay, why didn't they do a good job?
They didn't do a good job because, in my opinion, a referee is supposed to be a referee that is unbiased and calls it down the middle. I don't think he did that.
So are you saying there's a bias? There's a bias against Chelsea? Because if you are, I disagree completely with
when it comes to those two referees in Mike Dean and Anthony Taylor, 100%. But whether you agree with me,
so
it doesn't matter.
I'm not gonna lie. I actually believe the Anthony Taylor thing because I've seen bare things go against them.
Bro, the amount of stuff I put up with years of these people, fair enough. If you don't believe me and you don't think this exists, that's fair enough. That's your prerogative.
Bro,
You can
but
do
I
that.
believe you.
It's not so much that. It's that every team, fans from every team believe certain referees are against them. Liverpool fans do it. Man United fans do it. Arsenal fans do it. Well, people have bee in their bonnets about all referees. The reality is the referees are there. They're trying to do a good job. They don't hate Chelsea or Spurs or Liverpool or Arsenal or Man United. They're trying to do the best they can. Sometimes they're just purely incompetent. And if they're purely incompetent, should we demand more from referees?
And we're allowing them to ref games being purely incompetent.
Can I show you something?
I agree.
Like there's not other referees available.
This is they're trying to ban him. So you've already had over 1,000.
Bro, the amount of people that have called out the fucking decision making by this referee from this game,
Look at
and
this.
we're now having a conversation about
FA
this.
Cup.
What I'm saying as a Chelsea fan is crazy. It's not.
FA Cup.
There are people that don't even support Chelsea, footballers, freaking and former referees, etc., so on and so forth, all talking about this referee.
Look at
Listen,
this.
this was this Reece James handball against Liverpool. But one minute, go. One of the things that was there was Reece James handball against Liverpool. Are we talking about the handball where
that's a red? It was a red. That's fair. Like I don't even see why that's in the list.
But this is what I mean.
Like, you, is it? The decision went your way. Is that
what
you're
saying? Because he gave what? I'm confused. What does that mean?
No, you're saying that he's got. Are you saying? Hold on. Wait, you're saying he's got a vendetta against you or whatever, but he did get something against you.
Just because one of the things on the list was a fair decision doesn't mean their whole point.
It doesn't mean that any of them are right. It doesn't mean that we need to look at each one of them individually and on based on their merits. And in that game, that was actually given by VAR, if I remember correctly.
Which
so
one?
the Reece James handball on the line in the third game from last season at Anfield, where Liverpool played Chelsea, the 1-1 game.
VAR called it up, and he went to the. So it would have been like, if they allowed him to basically see it again.
Exactly.
But at the end of the day, like, I'm not here to have a conversation about this, whether you believe me or not, whether you agree with me or not. I'll generally, I don't agree. That's why I don't think it's completely pointless for us to discuss something when we're not going to see eye to eye. The fact of the matter is, I am upset that as we watch this league with all our minds invested into it, all our hard money or whatever our time dedicated towards it, the fact that we have to talk about a referee that is here just to officiate a game is disgusting to me. And this is supposed to be the best league in the world with the most money spent in the world. We have the technology here to help us make the right decisions, and we're constantly making the wrong decisions, and we're having to talk about these refs. It's disgusting, bro. I'm tired of it. And as a Chelsea fan, these guys are not new people to me. I know I've got history with them. That's why you're seeing Chelsea fans complain about them.
Right. Can I say, look, I've seen this a lot. Right. It's not just because Chelsea fans are obviously doing that. Arsenal fans, last season was saying there's referees conspiracies against them. There's loads of things that I've seen in recent seasons that should have been a red card or shouldn't have been a red card that's gone the other way and hasn't been overturned by VAR. They've got to work it out how they're going to do to stop problems like this happening. But to say any club is being vindicated, I'm pretty sure the FA don't sit there and go, oh, let's have a look. Who are we going to screw over this season? Oh, it's Arsenal. Oh, it's Chelsea.
Brother,
it's just results go your way. Results go
You're
your way.
You're telling me about FA. Do I look like I'm talking about the FA, bro? Come on.
But they're in charge of referees, aren't they not?
I'm talking about these individuals. I'm talking about Anthony Taylor and Mike Dean, bro.
That make mistakes.
That make mistakes that they are continuously allowed to get away with and not reprimanded for, bro.
Right,
like, I'm being honest.
Wait. Here's a big standout for Spurs that obviously happened, and it was one of the things. The season with COVID, Lucas Moura run with the ball against Sheffield United. He gets fouled. He gets taken out completely. He gets fouled. The ball rolls in front of him, but a yard. The Sheffield United player boots at him. It hits that part of his back and all that a yard away. It bounces to Harry Kane, who scores the goal. It then got a goal given. It goes to VAR because it's hit that a yard away, and also he's been fouled in the process. We didn't get anything. It was given to Sheffield United as a free kick to them going the other way. It should have been a free kick or it should have been a goal, and we got nothing. Mm-hmm. It happens. Teams get screwed over one way or another by referees.
When did I dismiss that teams get this?
I'm just saying it happens,
bro.
For fans to know that it's an easy way out.
Alan, the way you're speaking, bro, you're actually not listening to me here. I have not once said to you on this stream, not once did I say to you other teams don't have hardships from flipping referees making mistakes. In fact, I agree with you, and I've already admitted that, and I said that to you in the beginning. The fact that in the Premier League we speak about these referees far too often when they have all the technology that is there to assist them in making the right decisions, bro, is disgusting. And as a Chelsea fan, I've put up with it, and these two individuals are constantly coming up as names that are completely biased against us. Whether you believe me or agree with me is an entirely different conversation. I am not sat here saying to you, FA have got FA have got something against me. I'm not here saying to you, oh, other teams don't have any of these problems. We're the only ones that have this problem. Not once did I say that to you. The fact that your rebuttal to me is you saying to me, other teams deal with with this too. Chelsea should too. Or these people make human mistakes. We should deal with it too. Bruh, in any other life, bro, when people don't do a good job at something, they get held accountable for it. Why are we having a laugh about this, bro? These referees somehow have become untouchable in our game. For what reason, bro? Because in other leagues, bro, they are laughing at these referees.
Untouchable. Don't referees who do bad get demoted leagues as well? We've noticed that,
bro. If that's
I just think it's a weak excuse in my opinion.
If that's what you believe after having watched Premier League for how many every years that you do, then fair enough. Agree to disagree. But one thing I will say is I will stand on what I'm saying. I think the referees in our league are not freaking good enough. They're not held accountable enough. The freaking technology is there to assist them, and we should be held more accountable. We should be able to criticize them. They should be held accountable in the sense that they have to answer for their mistakes. The fact that we're sat here and we're out here defending referees as just as humans, bro, everybody is human. When a player handballs the ball, oh, I didn't mean to do it. I'm human. It's a mistake. Can we have that conversation? That it starts to become silly all of a sudden, bro. All I'm saying is, bro, let's hold them accountable and let's not make them the guys at the focus.
But are any of us here aware of how and when referees are held accountable? I don't know. I mean, I don't. I remember at one point Uriah
They're only held accountable for 15 years ago. They're really only
there is some kind of assessment that takes place, right? I don't know how you get promoted, demoted, how that works, whether it happens during season, end of season. I'm not really sure. I guess we need to look into that before we make that judgment. Yeah. Obviously, one thing we do always see all the same faces, right? How often do you see a new referee? It's that's.
Last year
worth considering.
Last year was the first time we seen like a bunch of new referees being installed.
Really? I didn't even remember.
Because a bunch of them got moved on to full-time VAR referees now. With I think it's Moss, Mike Dean, and another person being full-time VAR referees. But guys, I'm gonna wrap it up here. Before we move on, I just want to say one last thing: the Conte Tuchel thing. Were you guys like it's whatever? You enjoyed that, or do you feel like
it's part of the game? It's what makes it fun, man. I love that.
Exactly, it's part of the game. People that got offended by that or think it's just weird. I'm sorry, it's just literally they're both winners. They both don't want to show weakness and all that. You know, it's just one of them things. People that got offended or whatever.
I like it. The Premier League's back. Today we had a headbutt. The other day we had somebody get 2 goals and an assist. The day before that we had a tug of war.
When Tuchel ran past Conte, he knew exactly what he was doing. After Conte gave it to him after Spurs got the equaliser, Tuchel running past him, he knew exactly what he was doing. So this is just part of the drama.
Did you see Conte's Instagram post? He said I was going to trip you.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I was like, hey, man, that's funny.
I'm gonna wrap it up here, guys. You already know what it is, the Kitty G on EGTV. Which I'll try my best to be back with another Vibes from the 6th, but we're not gonna do a prediction show this week with the panel and everything. I'm gonna try to get something organized though for everybody. But yeah, you guys have yourselves a wonderful day. We'll catch you guys on the flip side, maybe Wednesday or Thursday.